Good Monday morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is the 23rd of June. In this educational video, there's no advice or recommendation whatsoever. It is for educational purposes only. So let's see how market is reacting to the tension and bombing going on in the Middle East. Not much actually, at least not on the US markets. If we start with Nasdaq 100, that closed a little bit lower Friday, and this morning here we have the CFD, which is also representative of the future. We can see it dipped, opened below 21,430 support. And we can see that here pre-market it has bounced a little bit, so that will be key here throughout the day. If it takes out the lows today, well, then we are in for a more rough ride. The US 500 also opened below its support here at 5,919, but is currently trading above here pre-market. If it takes out the lows today, this morning, then I expect a push down to 5,800. More or less the same picture on Dow Jones. The US 30 the CFD tested 41,813 minor support. So let's see here. It will be interesting and something to watch throughout the day and to see where we will end or the next few days. In Hang Seng this morning, buyers came back in, lifting the markets. And let's see if it can resume uptrend. There's still positive sentiment on the RSI despite having this divergence here. If RSI moves back above 60 threshold, then uptrend could resume with a push higher towards 25,000. So it's still holding on, but if we did what I did here a little while ago, let's add it again. The Fibonacci here actually went down to between the 61.8 and 786, so it's not that useful. So we are still in a corrective phase, but if it takes out the lows there from the 19s at 23,885, then I think we will see a setback down to around 22,668. Nikkei, well, testing here early morning the falling trend line, but bounced and still above the rising trend line. So we are still, the uptrend is still intact, higher high, higher low, higher high. And is this a higher low? Could be if it takes out the spike up there at 38,950. Well, then we're looking at 40,000. In Europe, we had DAX bouncing Friday, testing this blue line here, which is actually the previous all-time high in this peak area here. Seems to be a pivot point. We did close above the resistance here at 23,315, but look at what's going on in the market here. Pre-market, we are back down a little bit, so we are back below the 23,260 resistance. I think we could see the next few days maybe sliding lower to below 23,000 maybe, but we have the 55 moving average coming up here. However we do, we are in a negative sentiment with the RSI being below 40 threshold, and I think we could see a little bit of weakness here, some profit taking also after this great ride we had. So let's have a look at the EuroStoxx, also closed Friday just above this little bit pivot point here, but it's dancing around the 55 moving average. But let's see the pre-market opened below and trying to get back above. So this 5,209 could be key, but we are in a bearish trend, negative sentiment, bearish trend, lower low, lower high, lower low, and we could slide lower here in the coming days, maybe all the way down to the 200 moving average. For EuroStoxx50 to resume uptrend, 5,314 is the key level to close above. On the FX side, we have euro dollar. Not much reaction to what happened in the Middle East over the weekend. We have euro dollar testing the rising trend line here, dip below, but is currently trading above. So it's still in this bullish trend here for now, at least. What I will do actually, and this is just if if I was a short-term trader, which I'm not, I would put this 114.46, 114.45. If it takes out that, well, then we could see dipping to the 55 moving average and 113.90, around 115 here. Sorry, 1350. Sorry, the 50% retracement of this uptrend here. But let's see. If it takes out Friday's peak, then I think uptrend will resume, and we are still in an uptrend. Sterling dollar, once again, a dip below support at 134.15, just above the 55 moving average. Still positive sentiment, but we are stressed. But I think we can conclude that we are actually a bit of a bearish trend here. It's just that will it really unfold with a push below 133, 132.5, possibly at the 786 retracement of this uptrend here. So I would be cautious being long, but if it starts moving, if it moves back above 135, it could resume uptrend, at least with a push up to 136. Euro sterling spike up this early morning here above the 61.8 retracement and just above is 86, and then it retraced, and now we are still in this range here around 85.5. So I would say it really needs to take out the peak of today to push higher towards 86.55 and potentially higher. But if it's sliding back below 85.25, well, then I think we'll see it could slide further back towards 84.60, 84.50. A bit of action in the yen market, or yen pairs. Friday it closed above the 145.50, above the cloud, and just below the resistance here at 146.30, and it has continued today. So now it has pushed up to the 786 retracement here at 147.25. RSI is back above 60 threshold, meaning there is an indication we could push higher towards 148.65, this peak here, possibly all the way up to 150, where we have the 200 moving average also coming up, if RSI can stay above 60 threshold at the end of the day. But I think we have established a bullish trend here short term. It's just about I think how far it will move, or how higher it will move in the coming days. Also, Euro Yen pushed higher, massive move there Friday to the 176.4 projection of this correction here. Open lower today, but then pushed up to the 169.65. And if we are looking at a bigger picture, I think we should do that. We see really strong move there. Positive sentiment on RSI, both daily and weekly, likely to push higher. Maybe a little bit of setback, but looking at 170 plus is definitely in the card. I don't have any strong resistance at the moment. Of course, there will be some corrections. Let's see if we do a little bit of this. Yeah. So expect a little bit of correction here, but we are in a bullish trend on Euro Yen. Aussie Yen also trying to push higher. Will it finally take out the resistance here at 94.80? If it does, well, then it is pushing to 95.75, where there's some stronger resistance also with the 200 moving average coming down. And it seems likely to unfold since we have a positive sentiment on the RSI. Sterling Yen also now really pushed above this resistance area here at 196.40.50. And towards 198, just hit it spot on, and I think we'll see it pushing higher in coming days towards the 200, 199, 200 level here on Sterling Yen. If it slides back below 196.40, well, then it is likely to be called off this move here, but all indicators are indicating higher levels on Sterling Yen. Aussie dollar broken below the rising trend line there, currently trading around the 200 moving average, but it's actually dipped down to the 786 retracement at just around 64. And I think if it takes out that level, well, then we're looking at levels around 63.5. 63.45 in this region here, where we have the 100 moving average coming up. But there's some support here, so I think we could be dancing sideways a little bit here for the next 24 hours or so. If it crawls back above 65, sorry, and back above the trend line here, then uptrend is likely to resume. But for now, we are in a little bit of a correction phase. Dollar Canada continuing its bounce slowly but surely. Now it's reached the 50% of this downtrend here. Could bounce all the way up to the 61.8 at 138.35. And then I think there's some strong resistance here at the 55 moving average coming down. And RSI also needs to close above 60 threshold, but it's likely to be rejected because there's no divergence on the RSI. So we could see downtrend resuming if it's being rejected up there. And Sterling Canada also continuing its bounce. Friday it bounced almost up to the 61.8 retracement at 185.46. I think it could continue its bounce, but if it takes out the 183 here, well, then it's likely to push lower below 182 to 181. On the Swiss franc, Euro Swiss still in this range here between 94.5 and 93, so not much to talk about. Dollar Swiss rejected here at the 38.2 retracement and 82.17, could slide lower, and if we can't take out that level with a push higher towards 82.5, 83, then I think we'll see it sliding back slowly but surely towards the lows here around 80.40. RSI is still negative sentiment, so that seems to be the outcome. Dollar index also trading around the falling trend line there. Really not much. So it could have spiked up, and I actually expected that just below 99, where we have the 38.2 retracement and then a rejection, but it seems it could be already playing out now. If it takes out the lows from Friday, so that's just very short term, but then I think if it takes out the lows from Friday at 98.13, then I think we'll see a retest of these lows here just above 97. And let's have a look at gold. Gold started this morning early session on a higher note, but sellers taking control from the get-go, pushing it back below the very short-term rising trend line there. We could be in for a sell-off, further selling pressure to around 3,300, where we have some support here, 3,293 to be exact. But the key one will be around 3,245, but it seems like it will push lower. If it takes out the peaks from today, then uptrend is likely to resume. But we have this top and reversal pattern in the form of a bearish engulfing, which is a little bit unusual, but we do have it here. If we just very quickly look at the future, we also had that one bearish engulfing there on the gold future. So we have a top and reversal in place for gold, and that could take it a little bit lower. The silver support at 35.45, still uptrend slightly. Is there some slightly divergence? Let's see, 72, 76, and 73. Yes, so there is divergence, so we could be in for a correction. If it takes out 35.45, then we're looking at 34.80. That will give some support. On the platinum, also correction phase. You can see divergence, RSI values declining, market move higher, so trend exhaustion, and we spiked almost down to the 786 retracement. Key support here at 12.13. That should be observed, but we are in for a correction. I think we could see it at least have a go at the support there. Whether we'll take it out or not is debatable. If it takes out the peak here at 13.51, well, then a new highs are in the horizon. Copper, well, still dancing sideways here between 470 and 485. It is in a slightly positive sentiment. We are above the cloud. We are above all moving averages, but it's not really moving anywhere. So I will still say it needs to get its act together and push above 495 for at least establishing a bullish trend, or have a chance to do it. But for now, we as long as we stay above 464, I think this is the range. I know we spiked higher here, but I think we will catch a little bit earlier at 495 if it closes above that level. And let's see what's going on in the energy market after all all the things going on in the Middle East and Iran deciding to close the Hormuz Strait. Well, in early session this morning, WTI crude oil opened higher at $78, so it's a new high, not all-time high, but just a new high. But sellers has just been in control throughout the session, so it didn't really it didn't frighten the market that much. Maybe they don't think it will actually play out, that they are actually closing the Hormuz Strait. So let's see. Also, Brent crude oil spiked higher, and I have adjusted my Fibonacci levels. Let's see where we. There we are. 81.05. And sellers also took control more or less from the get-go. So let's see if it's sliding back below the 75.50. Well, then we could see a further selling pressure. However, of course, if it takes out the peaks from today, well, then we have a different situation and our trend resumes. But it looks a little bit stretched at the moment. European nat gas also opened higher, above 42, 44 to be exact. And also here, seems sellers are at least a little bit in control. We are around the 200 moving average. We are in a bullish trend, so there's still potential up to around 44. US nat gas spiked higher Friday and not really doing much this morning. A little bit above the cloud. But it is not convincing what it's done. Could slide lower. If it takes out 375, then I think it will be stuck down here in this range again. But we are in a bullish trend, positive sentiment on our RSI, so there is potential higher to 425. On the yield side, US 10-year Treasury yields still in this range between 430 and 452. That should be observed. The 2-year really not much doing much either, just sideways dancing really. If we are moving on to the European yields, the EU 10-year has bounced a bit the past week or so, but it's still dancing around this 250 area. 260 is the resistance that is key for uptrend, and 242 key support. UK 10-year bouncing a little bit this morning, but still 460 is the resistance to push higher, and I think they will be unhappy if that scenario plays out where it's actually moves above it. So for now, we are range bound here between 445 and 460. Finally, on crypto and Bitcoin, Bitcoin over the weekend has dipped below 100,000, but is still trading above it. That will be key here the next few days. Will it dip further below or have another go below? It's just above 100,000. If it takes out the lows there from yesterday, well, then we could be looking at 93,000 support area. Ethereum that has sold off heavily below the support here, 23.32, dipped to the support at 21.17. It seems like being the ongoing theme. That around just above the 2100 is key, but it bounced strongly, and if it can get back above 23.35, well, then uptrend could resume. All right, that's all for today. Let's see what will happen today in the market and the Middle East, but for now it seems like oil is taking a bit of a breather, setting back a little bit. Have a nice day.